coming up on the Horse Tamer with Pat Parelli.
No horse has ever been born with a halter on, not one. We give him a couple of yards penalty for encroachment. You too. Tension and energy create chaos.
How do you let him be his own guide?
Nice and soft, nice and soft. Chester, perfect. I'm Pat Parelli, and I have loved horses for as long as I can remember.
We don't want our horses to be afraid.
Since 1982, I've been sharing my knowledge to make the world a better place for horses and the humans that love them. My name is Pat Parelli. Remember, keep it natural. But you can call me the Horse Tamer.
Pat is paying a visit to his friend Chester. Chester Weber is a world champion four-in-hand driver who holds the distinction of being the most decorated driver in the U.S. He was even personally congratulated by Queen Elizabeth after winning at the Royal Windsor Horse Show 2 years in a row. Today, Chester needs help with one of the horses on his team. Kasper does a good job in the ring, but he can be strong-willed and impatient. Chester is looking for ways to help Kasper stand still for longer and cooperate faster. Chester has his eye on a gold medal at an upcoming competition, and making sure that Kasper is at the level of the rest of the team will help them reach that goal.
Hi, Chester.
How you doing?
So this is Kasper. How'd that feel?
It felt like who's leading who?
Yeah, okay. So that may be right there even a part of what we're gonna, when we ask him to tell his story. Let me try a little something here. What I want to do is get humans to realize that as pedestrians, we have tall bodies, but horses have long bodies. People have tall bodies, and so this evokes us to think like a pedestrian. And so you see somebody who's thinking like a pedestrian, they hold the horse up close, trying to hold it, and then the horse goes around them because this big, long body's got these 5 zones. The head is zone 1, the neck is zone 2. We sit in zone 3, the hips are zone 4, and the tail is zone 5. And whether we're on the ground or in the saddle, we have to learn how to use long body logic with our hands, with our legs, with our seat, and maybe even a stick, so that we are always talking to each individual zone and in combination. This is what brings out the real natural magic with people who are really good with horses, long body logic. I'm going to presume something that you've gone fishing before in your life.
Yes.
So what would we have to do to catch a big fish on a small line? Let's say we got him caught. How are we going to reel him in? You can't just keep grinding, right?
Sure.
You got to get a little tension and release.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to hit the brakes, let the clutch out. So now, what I'd like to do is, instead of maybe up here close, that we can allow him to do some more things on his own. It's just you and I go together. Just walk with me here. So let's do some of that stuff, but again, some of this might be, just back up a little bit and just put a little bit of, pay attention, energy, rather than holding him up here close and kind of being the minister of no and saying, get back, stop it, quit it. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can allow him to do some of that stuff, but again, some of this might be something good for him. If he goes over there, just stand still, allow it to go there. He can just go kind of anywhere he wants, rather than kind of being held up, all right? So some things that you might want to think about. All right, so let's open the doors and let's try something here. Okay, I'm gonna walk out there on a long line, okay? And I'm going to try not to ever say no, all right? And I'm going to come back in on a long line. I'm drawing on that rope there. I never once closed my hand and said, you got to come. So I think if we really want a horse to give us everything he's got to optimize, we got to get their heart, then their head, then their emotions, and then their body. Okay, so let me try it again. That's feeling pretty good. All right, so let's analyze it from 3 ways. The quantitative, the qualitative, okay? The quantitative was coming through the gate. That was the what.
Okay.
The qualitative is what score we give it. Okay, if we went from -10 to 10, I would have given that right there probably a 7. That last one. What would you have given when you tried to get him come through?
2, he came through, but barely.
Yeah, I would have given it a -2.
Okay.
Because there was lots of this and that, so that's the qualitative. Then you sit there and go, okay, is this his first time he's ever been in this round crowd in his life?
Certainly not, but
No.
First time probably with a camera or something.
Yeah, okay, there you go, with all this sort of thing. So we've heard these words before, probably approach and retreat. It doesn't work nearly as good as retreat and approach.
Okay.
So if we try to hold the line and the gait, we're probably going to lose the gait with the walk or the trot.
Sure.
But if we say you can sashay over as long as you keep moving, you're probably going to keep the gait. And the gait's more important than the line. So now we're going to lengthen this up and just see how he responds or reacts to different stimulus. So I can lengthen my body out by quite a bit here. And if you'll just walk again with me, walk back with me here, just so we can kind of just see what we've got here. And I'm going to stop him there with that. I'm going to see if that curiosity kicks in down here. Because what a lot of people that own horses don't realize is that horses have a fisheye lens, okay? Because of that fisheye lens, sees things, this great peripheral vision, sees things differently, okay? But not only that, they have a rectangular iris instead of a circular one, and then they've got a trifocal lens on top of it. They want to see something way over there. They look through the bottom. They want to look down there, they tilt their head and look through the top of the lens, okay? So this is something, so that's where just being able to see what he thinks about these different perspectives. There we go. That's a good example of him looking through that lens. What I really like is him standing still. Okay? So now let's walk over here, and as I'm gonna push him more than I'm gonna pull him. I'm gonna push him over there, over there, over there, over there, over there, over there. I want him to yield away from pressure as well as yield to pressure, okay? Good. I like the fact that he's wanting to hurry up and stand still. That's really good. Let's see if we can ask him to back up. Let's touch the ground, touch his chest, touch the ground, chest, ground, chest, ground, chest, ground, chest, ground, chest, ground, chest. Because the better a horse goes backwards and sideways, the better he'll do everything else. So let's just walk over here again, just seeing if we can get him to yield from the pressure. There we go. So every horse has his own horsenality based on 4 things. Innate characteristics, that's what the breeding is. Environmental influences, okay? Maybe the fact that you've got a place here with lots of trees and the wind's blowing and, the airplane's going over and, whatever, you got other horses being driven. That's part of his everyday life, okay? The next thing is learned behavior, and they learn positive things, or let's call it functional things and dysfunctional things, all right? And spirit, all right? So those are our 4 factors. So to me, I would say he is a right brain extrovert. That's what it feels like. Extroverts like to move their feet. All right, so let's go here. So I'm trying to get him to make the turn. Like a lot of times we might start the carriage. Let's see if we can get him to go forward here. That's pretty easy, right? And again, I'm not trying to make him go around, but will you hold that for a second? And then pass it to yourself, look at me. There you go. See what I mean? We're just standing here. We're not telling go, 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 keep going, go, go, go. We're just standing here passing the rope to each other. This is what I call neutral, and this is something a lot of people miss. Now, can we see how this could be different than a lot of people call it free lunging? Now, we're not just letting him do this. So now what we're gonna do is when you pass it to me, I'm gonna put some energy out in front of him. Let's step over here together. Let's just see what he does. Good. Shuts down, and that's what we want. What I'm doing, I'm just trying to see where we're at.
Sure.
What I really like about this horse
Yeah.
is that he is really allowing me to influence him in front. A lot of horses that I've dealt with that have been in any kind of competition where you involve, going forward and with other horses, they can just get blind, just blind. Yeah, it's just gone. So now let's try this. So I'm going to ask him, I'm going to be the lead horse here for a minute. So I'm going to ask him to walk along here. And if he doesn't walk along, that's going to come back behind. But as long as he walks, come a little closer to my shoulder here, so we can kind of synchronize here. You see, I want him to go here. And here's an opportunity. We're going to step away a little bit, but I'd like him to walk along here, not make me drag him. Come on, attaboy. But I don't want him to jump in front of me either. And that's the reason I don't approve of a technique called lunging.
Why am I against lunging? Because it's the act of micromanaging and chasing a horse around in a circle till he gets tired. But the circling game, making a game out of it, is the game of we do less and they do more. This is how we use communication, understanding, and psychology, and it's the only game we can really play with a horse where we can really just do nothing, be in complete neutral, and the horse could canter 40, 50 laps once he knows how to maintain gait, maintain direction, look where he's going, and stay connected.
I'm going to stop, drop the drawbridge. What we're looking for is he going to stay high adrenaline and cortisol, or is he going to, like there, kind of getting curious, and we're going to see if he can go in just a little. There we go. So I'm going to kind of try to stay about the same place here. Let's see what we get. Let's just see if we walk by here, if he can maintain gait. He's paying attention to the cameraman up there on the top. That's bothering him a little bit. Okay. Good. I'd say that's better. Now, can you hear that rhythm of his walk?
Yeah.
That sounds better to me. Look at that head. 4 beats. Right front, left hind, left front, right hind, right front, left hind, left front, right hind. And stop. You forgot to stop. You forgot to stop. You got to stop. See what I mean? So I'm just going to play little games with him, just like you do. What's your verbal cue for forward? Get up?
I usually try to say something to get their attention, like, all right, and then I cluck to them and ask them to walk.
Okay, so the sequence there was I brought my attention up, I clucked, tap, because I don't want to have to tap. And that was way better right there.
Yeah.
And stop. Hey, so I'm going to ask him, I'm going to give him a couple of yards penalty for encroachment. You too. If I stop, you stop.
That's why I came back to you. I didn't want to get the stick.
Sticking. Okay, let's walk here. All right. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to stop. I don't want to have to do that. I want him to put 2 and 2 together. Hey, let's get back a little bit. No, not turn, not turn, not turn. This is what we call a herding stick. It doesn't hurt.
Herding a horse around is something that's very natural to the horse. Why? Because their mother had a longer body than they did when they were little foals. And she herded them around. She used her long body and pushed them around. And horses got to remember they've got a fisheye lens, and so they've got an eye on each side that's got this bilateral vision. So if I can take that little butterfly at the end of that thing, which is very delicate, and by the way, those herding sticks are made out of very light composite, and they will break just by hitting something that hard. So it's nothing that can have strength, but it's got to have the length, and it's got to be in the correct spot. So sometimes putting it over there with her so that this eye catches it, or put it over here on this eye, or down low so they look at. Knowing how horses feel, think, act, and play enables us humans to become horsemen.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. We start walking. Okay. So this is where I keep going. The what, the quality, and how many times have we done it? All right. So where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Back. All right. So the quantitative, the quantitative, the qualitative. And
He's probably thinking, what is with you? You always want me to stop behind you.
yeah, exactly. Optimization is the goal. We want him to be the best me he can be, right?
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that? He actually read it and he kind of went, oh, wait, sorry. Here, let's back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. Okay. So now, let's see if we can get some electricity. He overdid, didn't he? He overdid. Yeah, you did overdid. You overdid. You overdid. You overdid. You overdid. No, no, no. We're not going to roll like that. No, no, no. We're not going to roll like that. We're not going to do that. No, we're not doing that either. That's why I don't use whips.
Yeah, I understand.
But that's why I use these herding sticks to try to get them to realize that I realize that no horse has ever been born with a halter on. Not one. They're not meant to be pulled around. How does a stallion move his band of mares? He herds them around, just like what we're doing. See if he'll, okay, like right there, the moment that he thought I'm gonna go smell the moss, let's just time it. You ready? If he looks off anywhere, and now's the time to go. And he gets going, that's the time to stop. So that he's synchronizing with us, not us with him.
There's where I think I failed. It's a balance. How do you get him to the next piece of his career and let him be his own guy too, right?
To me, it feels like he needs more individual coaching rather than getting in the team and whatever other dynamics are going on there. And again, I think it boils down to being strong individuals. There's a reason you've won so many championships. Strong individual. But you got a good team. Got a good team behind us. And if we turn, let's see if we can get the turn. There we go. Get used to going over there and doing everything with relaxation and energy creates power. Tension and energy. There we go. No, we're not doing that. Tension and energy create chaos. The name of the game. I'll show you a little technique here. This is called the jump rope. I just twirl it like a jump rope. I want him to yield to pressure, okay? Until. So what I'm really liking here is I'm seeing him already improving on the thinking, and we've done it without any stress.
What excites human beings usually stresses horses. We have this humans are from Mars, horses are from Venus concept here, because we want horses to go, but we also want them to stop. We want them to turn. We want it, and all these things. We can get there if we put the principles ahead of the purpose and give the horse the time that it takes, so it takes less time.
I learned to drive by somebody finally saying, here, hand you the reins for a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with you. So walk first, and now cluck, whatever signal you want, and then there. See, he's trying to come back and synchronize with me. Oh, good. Good. Let's try walking before we cluck. There, you didn't have to even cluck, see? That's where we talk about give, yield, and turn loose. That's him turning loose to you. Just stop and say, whoa, whoa. Now put the stick down, back him up, put him back where he should have been. Let's go, let's get your nose over there. You gotta get the nose back lined up. And walk, just walk.
I got that wrong.
And Chester, just in case you screw up.
Well, you were a good teacher.
I've got a stick for you.
Well, that's good.
See, whoa. Good. Much better. Because, oh, good. Back him up. Back him up and down like here, maybe up and down. There. Oh, good. And walk, cluck. And try not to use the stick. Get a little closer. Don't come quite so far away. And just, whoa. And again, you've got to make sure that we're not letting the nose get in the wrong spot. There. Let him sit. Now he's really licking his lips now. Even if he goes back, no, even if he goes back too far, that's okay at first.
Body language is the universal language, particularly with horses. You know, we see horses when their head's up, their eyes are wide open, their nostrils are flaring. This is stress. But when a horse drops his head, gets level-headed, starts blinking his eyes because he's thinking, and he starts licking his lips, this is an indicator that he's relaxing, he's understanding, he's getting into a learning frame of mind. So what do people do with their body language? Like, maybe you're doing it right now, like, oh, okay, I get it. So licking the lips is a great indicator that they're relaxed and learning.
Now go forward. See what I mean? When he gets too far out of line, let him pay the consequence. And
Oh.
Now forward when he's sniffing, walk. There we go. So that when you see his attention go off, that's where I would, oh. Okay, now let's try one other thing. Let's say, whoa, with a long
Whoa.
slow, okay? Walk.
Walk.
There you go. Let's just say, whoa, when you stop. And you can use the line a little bit now. Use the line a little bit, a little of both. So the goal is you're using this as a safety net.
Mm-hmm.
You're not micromanaging with him.
Sure.
With him. And that way, yeah, good. And that way, if he makes a mistake, you say, that's your problem. If I were you, I wouldn't have made that mistake.
Sure.
You allow him to do it. And now if he goes too far back, walk forward. Just walk forward. There we go. And now stop. Whoa.
Whoa.
Much better.
Oh.
Now, that whoa means whoa. Good. Didn't even need to cluck, see? And stop.
Whoa. Whoa.
Now, I would have done one whoa and 3 sticks.
Okay.
Very good. Good. And you know what I liked about that? You put some energy into that whoo and said, hey, there's a boundary there. It's an invisible boundary, but it's there.
Walk.
Good. Cluck once. There you go. Keep walking. Go halfway around. Just walk so he gets into the rhythm of going. He's getting level-headed, more level-headed all the time. Good. And one more time, and I think we got it. Model the way for him, and then stop before anything.
Whoa. Whoa.
Good. Nice and soft, nice and soft. Good.
Good boy.
Chester, perfect. Come on over here. Almost perfect anyway. Come on over.
With him?
Come on, yeah, just come on.
Come on,
Just bring
Trigger.
him over. Just bring him over. Okay, now watch. I want you to walk backwards like this, like a windshield wiper. You ready? Good. Now come here. Come on, 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 come on. Look at me and backwards like the windshield wiper. And stop. Little things like that, see, are gonna just pay you dividends because he's got to read it and rate it and read it and rate it. He's got to keep his attention on it. Got to, all the different things. And how we're ending right here, to me, is a really, really good thing. And let's see, wonder what's in here. Oh, so Penny, for your thoughts.
I think it's great.
What do you mean?
I think it can, I like that we've developed some trust with him. He understood from us the cameraman was not the boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he also learned some boundaries from you. And that's, to me, if we can get the boundary piece.
And we didn't ruin this part. He likes us.
Yeah. Oh, he's absolutely happy to be around us. He's looking definitely for another treat.
There you go. He wants to know what an Italian cowboy tastes like. Good. Well, this is, to me, is really exciting, is to work with people at the top of their sports, whatever it is, and start to see some of those little differences that might make the difference.
The most natural learning sequence is teach, control, reinforce, and refine. So whether it's a horse or a human, we have to take the time it takes and teach and almost control the environment and the situation till they get it, till it's reinforced and they own it. But then there's nuances, the little differences that make the differences. So like maybe Chester, who is a master at being behind a horse and communicating and winning and doing everything at a world-class level, maybe by doing some of the things we did on the ground out in front of the horse or along his side are going to be the little differences that ended up making the big differences.
Good job. So you've now got a Parelli herding stick, a 22-foot rope, a wonderful horse, and a big future. All you owe me is a picture when you get over there. Chester, any aha moments for you there, or, BFO's blinding flash of the obvious?
Yeah, so real aha moment for me is I feel like Kasper is forever in my space. He wants to be in my pocket. If I lead him, he wants to be on my heels. And I think from the beginning, you just diagnosed the issue of just give him more space, and he didn't want to be in my space, other than when, the boogie-woogie camera guys were there, and then he probably was looking to me for, hey, come help me here.
Yeah.
But besides that, if you asked me about the aha moment, it would be giving him some more space to do his thing, to be his own independent self while giving him direction in a very fair way.
Right.
And I'm humbled that you came here to spend the time with our team and our organization and Kasper to try to get us to be the best we can, because we've won a lot of silver medals and we're looking to win the gold medal.
We need gold.
Only one way to do that is to improve what you do.
Oh, great. Here's a good little saying you might like. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Get your good, better, and your better, best.
I like that.
That's going to get you from silver to gold right there. Okay?
Thanks.
Good. That's good.